So now for our next step, we want to get this reef tank to start cycling. Now what does that mean? That means that there needs to be some good bacteria, saltwater bacteria, that builds up in this reef aquarium, so that when we add fish and corals and all of those things, that the bacteria will be able to break down all of the waste materials into things that are safer for this reef tank. So there's lots of videos on YouTube that explains about an aquarium cycle and all of these things. It's probably going to take about 3-4 weeks. It depends on lots of different things, but because there's live sand in this tank, it's probably going to take a little bit quicker than without any live sand. And then something else that we're going to do to boost it a little bit is we're going to add some bacteria to kickstart this process of cycling this reef aquarium. So there's two products that I'm going to use to add some bacteria to kickstart this reef aquarium. The first one is Aquatic Probiotic. It's a product that's from Thailand, and so in this bottle you can see it looks like dirty water. It's some bacteria that we're going to add into this reef aquarium, and this bacteria is going to go into the sand and the rocks and the glass, all of the surfaces, and it's going to replicate and start doing what it's supposed to be doing. And then the second product that we're going to be using in this reef tank is Biodigest. Biodigest, I've used this before in a previous reef tank and I found it to be quite useful. And this is living bacteria for biological filtration. Basically what it looks like, a capsule looks like this. It's a type of, almost looks like a glass capsule, and then you're going to break it open and we're going to throw this into the reef aquarium. Something else that we're going to add into the sump, into the filtration system of this reef aquarium, is this blocks with lots of, it's probably like ceramic or something like that, blocks with lots of holes and small little holes and things like this, and this is going to provide surface area for the bacteria that I was talking about. It's going to populate all around this, and I've got about 4 of these blocks. It's nice, it already comes in a nice mesh bag, so it's not going to be dirty and things like that. So I'm going to place these blocks into the sump here at the bottom, probably in the 3rd compartment. So now I'm going to be adding the surface area rocks into the sump so that it can provide some area for the bacteria to populate. So I'm going to put in a couple of them. Got about 4 of them. I'll stack them nicely soon. So it's time to add the bacteria into this aquarium. So I'm going to use this one first. This is a Thai one. I'm probably going to add about half of it on the top display tank. And then I'll add the rest at the sump here at the bottom. Then I'm also going to add the Biodigest. So I've got a couple of these, so I'm just going to break off those tips, and then I'm also going to add it into the reef tank. Just want to mention a couple of things about the return pump that I'm using. I'm using a Jabal DCQ 5000. This is rated at 2,600 gallons per hour. But what is really nice about it is it has a nice controller, which makes things really nice and adjustable. So there's a wave function. If you hold in that button, then the pump will pump out water, hold back, pump out water, hold back. It creates a wave system. But personally, I don't use the return pump as the main source for making waves. I have a wave maker inside, and there's also a feed option. The feed option, if you click on this button and select the feed option, then it will give you about 10 minutes where the pump will give you opportunity to feed the fish. And this is the controller, so you can choose how strong you want it to be. I've got it on full, want nice strong flow. And then it also tells you the power, it's about at 34, 33 watts. That's probably going to depend on how much the pump needs to push up the water and lots of things like that, but it is rated at 50 watts. Very, very quiet pump, can barely hear anything at all. Really, really impressed so far with this pump. I'll see how things go in a couple of months' time. That's basically all that there is for now. Now that we've added the bacteria and everything is set up and everything is running, we need to wait for the cycle. So I've got some tests. So I'm going to test the water every now and then for ammonia and nitrates and nitrates, and I'm going to see what the levels are like, and then I'll have more or less an idea of how far the tank is in the cycle. And then also just keep in mind, as the tank is cycling, might have not so nice smell. There might be lots of algae that's growing on the rocks and on the sand and on the glass, but that's normal. That's part of the cycling process. And so when the cycle is almost done, all of those things will return to normal. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and stay tuned for the next episode.